Hi everybody, welcome back. We're going to spin a little bit more today. I hope you're excited because I am. I did a lot of chores so that I could sit down at my wheel. First I'm going to start by clearing out my bobbin. Between the last times we talked, I finished spinning that bit of roving that I had, the pink stuff. So I have another bump prepared to spin today. So I'm changing out my bobbin right now. Put my brake band back on. Put the drive band back on. Hold it steady. I find a good spot for it to turn. And I lock the front maiden into place. Let's pull that leader through. I like a leader that has a hole in it to catch my fiber as it's coming through. Just gonna adjust my wheel a little bit. At a comfortable distance away from my feet. Make sure that it's treadling fine. And that it's not going to fall out. Call that lesson learned. Today again we're spinning the Shirsty Cat Designs fiber. They're 80/20 Merino silk blend in color 95A. Very descriptive color, as you know. I did buy it at Stitches Midwest this past 2017. Have another bump here. As you can see, they're all great colors of cream and peach and some very vibrant pink. It looks as though there was a braid next to it that was a little bit darker where some of the color bled on, but in the final yarn it should probably disappear. There were a couple other pieces that had a bit more bleeding on it than I cared for, so I pulled those out. I put them in a bag to play with later with hand cards or what have you. I did get some really great feedback last time, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to prep my fiber by fluffing it out. Sometimes merino or extra crimpy fibers tend to get compacted, especially if they're stored in a braid, or if you vacuum seal them, or just over time. Hair can get matted, just like your dogs or long-haired cats. So you pick it apart. Makes it easier for you to spin and draft a little bit easier. You don't have to pre-draft. Pre-drafting is pulling your fibers forward out of the braid ahead of time before you actually are sitting at your wheel and feeding the spinning or feeding the twist into your yarn. Hopefully the microphone's picking that up. You can hear all of the crimps coming apart. It's very crunchy. A little bit more. I think a good breaking point is that vibrant pink, don't you think? I think so. We'll stop there. I wish you could feel how soft this section is that I fluffed out versus this section. It's soft. Don't get me wrong, merino and silk, very soft. This side is just silky and so smooth. All right, well, let's get started. More technical spinner would have their chart of how thin and thick they've been spinning the previous fibers. That's not the type of spinner I am. So I just like to start. Let's adjust our brake band so we're getting some tension. Oh, something's rubbing. Let's see. Here we go. Aha! Our leader fell off. Oh, there we go. That sounds right. We need more brake band. Tisk tisk. That's okay. That brake band isn't set up properly. Be lots of trouble, huh? Yikes. Now, the great thing about spinning is that even when you're done, you don't have to use singles or all of the singles that you've spun. And that's the one thing about the shacked wheels, is that you tend to get a little bit of bob and rattle with these plastic bobbins as you start off. Before there's some good, this doesn't feel right. A little bit further away on the left foot, please. Oh, that's much better. That's right. Once your bobbins have a little bit of fiber on them, you do tend to settle into that click, clack, click, clack. So, if you're a newer spinner or an experienced spinner, you'll see that what I'm doing with my hands is I'm moving both of my hands at the same time. And generally, when you're drafting, experienced teachers will teach you to do a couple different techniques. One technique is called long draw, where you're doing your non-dominant, your non-pinching hand. This one back here, do most of the work. And your pinching hand, the one in the front, just guides the fiber onto the bobbin. We'll do some of that at a later time. That one's super fun. You can, if you're trying to spin a lot of your fiber up very quickly, if you're taking part in Spinzilla, a spinner's event, going for yardage, long draw is a great method to do that, because it can spin a lot of fiber very quickly. You do tend to have a little less control about how thick and thin it goes, depending on your level of control. Or the second method is forward draw. Short forward draw, long forward draw. It's when you're using your forward hand back here to do 100% of the work. And your backhand, this guy gets to be super lazy. And that looks more like pinch, pull, pinch, pull, pinch, pull, pinch, pull, pinch, pull. What I do is kind of a combination of both. This is kind of my default spinning technique. I tug with my left back hand and kind of let the twist pull some fiber out, but I'm also pulling with my front hand. Is there a right or wrong way to spin? There's no spinning, police. There's no right or wrong. If you're adding twist to fiber, you're making yarn. Good job. Move my flyer up. If you'd like to see something spun or different techniques, let me know in the comments. Or if you know me in person, you can always shoot me a line. Ooh, we got to the peachy color. You'll also notice that as I'm spinning, I'm turning my fiber around in my hands to keep kind of an even distribution. Something I've definitely struggled with as a newer spinner, that I would get into the groove of spinning all from one, I don't know, what would you call it, a stack? One line of fiber that's coming out, and then I would end up with some jiggity jagged feeds, and yeah, that still happens now and then, especially if I'm thinking about it a lot. Try not to think too hard. Spinning can be very meditative. Very relaxing. So once you get set up, just go and do. Ooh, that's getting thin. I'm going to tilt my mother of all a little bit. Things are rattling and shaking a little much. Oh, that's much better. Flat iron is a very cool wheel. A little bit more. A little less. Very cool wheel. Oh, I gotta move my leader. Very cool wheel. Like I was telling you last time, the mother of all can be placed on either side.